Well, hello, my absolute beautiful faces. I missed you all. Hi, Claire Lewis Davis, Interior Family Studios. Debbie, hello, everybody. Welcome to 1111, everybody's favorite true crime voice on the YouTube streets. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Sweet Fox Bakery. Welcome. Welcome. So, you guys, we're going to be talking about Sebastian Rogers. Now, his stepfather, his stepdad, is Chris Proudfoot. His mother is Katie Proudfoot. Sebastian went to bed allegedly on Sunday night around 9 p.m. Mom, Katie, allegedly says she heard something moving in there and said, I don't know what you're doing in there, but it's time to go to bed. Something like that. When she goes to wake him up in the morning, he's not there. And he's 15 years old with autism. Higher functioning autism, but still, it can mean that he trusts very easily. It puts him at higher risk. It's cold out. He has no shoes. He has no phone. He's not wearing a coat. In Tennessee, Hendersonville, Tennessee. On February 26th of this year, so it's been over 20 days. Over 3 weeks. Nothing. So I invite you to travel along with me through this journey. We've had numerous accounts of interviews by the stepfather and the mother, as well as we have a few of the real dad, whose name is Seth Rogers. Seth is very genuine. He doesn't have a lot of time for interviews because he's literally looking all the way to Memphis from Hendersonville for his son. So why Memphis, you guys? Well, we know one reason that it could be is that the stepdad, who allegedly was not in the home that night, does work in Memphis. He is a crane operator. So I see a lot of you are putting up prayers for Sebastian. Please say his name. Get him out there. 15 years old from Tennessee, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Hey, Tina Cassie. Now, I'll let you know now you are either watching a live or a replay, which is a recording of a live. So I invite you to use your fast forward button as much as necessary in order for you to continue to enjoy the program, whatever you see fit. But I want to thank my wonderful, amazing replay crew because you guys keep it going. Welcome, Winds of Change. Hello, Tickety Boo. Welcome, Catherine2929. All right, my loves. The Cajun Army, this is an update. Thank you for asking, Bassett Baby. She asked, any updates on today's search? I heard a dog hit was a false alarm, but cannot find confirmation. So the Cajun Navy has responded to help look for Sebastian. And a bunch of volunteers showed up in Hendersonville, I believe it was Hendersonville, for boots on the ground search. They were all gathered. JLR was live there. Then they were told to go to a second location, and we don't know any more than that. We have no more update than that. If anybody does know more, please just say it now. JLR was with one group. Right. Wise Old Lady says they are searching and something interesting sparked their attention. They're checking it now. We're all waiting. You know, I pray it's not him because I don't want anything bad to have happened. But in the other part, if something did bad happen, I want him found. So I think we're all putting our best energy towards his safe return at this time. Tina Cassie says, I have cousins who live in Hendersonville Tennessee and are looking for Sebastian too, God, please bring him home. So I want to shout out to every listener that this is Sebastian Rogers. Take a good look at his beautiful face. Um, if you know anything, please call your tips in to 1 800 TBI Find, as well as if you see him or you know of something that could help, immediately call 911. This child is, I would qualify him in my book as endangered. I know he's an amber. He does take medication. It's not life threatening if he doesn't have the medication, but he's at high risk and he needs help. He should not be on his own for any reason. As Catherine 2929 says, yes, hope he's found safe. Okay, so thank you for the email, Dreamweaver. I can't check it right now during the live, but thank you for explaining that it's still up in the air. We're waiting on an update. Thank you. And it could be not connected. We'll just have to, wait it out. But we are, all hands are on deck right now for Sebastian. My heart is breaking for this kid. I think anytime we can relate very tightly to a circumstance, we tend to find a connection is really strong with our passion to help. I also have, and he's home, so I'm going to say it very quietly. I have an autistic son, and he is now 19, but I've been a single parent for years because his original father was unfit, and then I hooked up with let's just say a Mr. Chris wannabe for a little while. He never touched my kids, and I left him. Well, actually, he left because I would not tolerate his rules. I mean, it was ridiculous. He had rules that my children could not eat after 8 p.m. at night. And I was like, no. If my kids are actually hungry, they will eat. Nobody denies it. So anyway, long story short, I made the right decision. He went on his way. It's not that he's a bad person. He never wanted kids. He told me that in the beginning, and I thought that he would adjust. But he was also a Navy guy, and that military gets in them, and they want, everything to be perfect, conditioned, in order. And children are chaotic. Truth. Claire Lewis Davis says CP is taking legal actions on Rogers family over GoFundMe. Lord, just stay focused on your missing kid. Randy Potter, does anyone know how far this place is from home? No, I don't know. Maybe somebody can tell us. I have a bunch of stuff to show you guys. We all have a good interest in this case because we want to get a great result. And I chuckled because that includes some of us get like a little bit of a different thought. And I just read one where somebody, Storm Dancer says, the stepdad looks like he has reptile eyes in that picture. Ah, Lord. Okay, let's get into this. Now, for those of you that are going to be curious on this, I am combining true crime with Minecraft. Don't ask. You're just going to have to check it out. Because I got stopped on the other channel, so I'm like, another door will open. And I play Minecraft all the time, and I talk case all the time. And I thought to myself, if somebody can like put makeup on and talk about true crime, it goes, why can't I play Minecraft and talk about true crime? So you might want to check that out. It'll be coming up in April. I'm looking forward to it. In the meantime, let's get over and do this little disclaimer so we can look at some videos here. Now, I have still a ton of little snippets, I'll call them, and I want to share them with you. And it's Smiley Stories, what was it? World. I wrote it down, but then I moved the paper, wouldn't you know it? Smiley Stories World. Check her channel out. And then JLR. Now, I'm not showing anything on JLR today other than he's mentioned quite a lot in this little snippets. Okay? So I grabbed little what the hell moments. And I wanted to continue to share them with you. Hold on, who's got a bone? Hi, BB. Let's take your bone over there away from the desk. Thank you, Lucky. Okay, fair use disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act. 1976. Allowance is made for the fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All right. So, we're just going to jump in with both beat.
How did you discipline him since he, how did you discipline?
So, this lovely lady is from the channel, the YouTube channel, Smiley Stories World. She does a very good job on the interview. She's very humble. She's very patient, but she also lets him know her opinions and she asks some really good questions. So please check her channel out and give her a thumbs up and some love and subscribe and all the good stuff that you can to support her. She did really good. Now, she's had no warning, and stepdad, Chris Proudfoot, has told her while she's on panel on another live that he will do a live with her immediately, that she's to literally jump off that panel, jump on her own lives, fire it up, and he will come on and answer any question, no matter how hard the questions are. Now, we went over, I think it was 2 of them yesterday. We're on our 3rd one now. There's about 10 of them. We might have to finish the rest on Monday. We'll see. But this stuff is what the hell moments. Like, it really begs somebody to look at it. Now, I try to get the entire answer to each question so that I'm not taking it out of context. But unfortunately, Chris, Mr. Chris, as he has Sebastian call him. Yes, you heard me right. The missing child's stepdad has Sebastian call him Mr. Chris. And no, that is not a Southern thing to call a parent Mr. or Mrs. No. Yes, we say Mr. and Mrs. I'm from the South. If it's a teacher, if it's somebody in a uniform, if it's somebody at your church, if you don't know them very well. But we all know Southern families are very loving. They want you to eat well. If you haven't eaten, they're gonna offer food before they know your name. And right away, they're going to be little lovely like Mama, Papa, Daddy. I am 50 odd years in levels. I still refer to my dad as Daddy when I talk to him, and Mama as my mother, my stepmother. So I find that very interesting. But this is him, Mr. Proudfoot, Mr. Chris, stepdaddy. With Mom, you won't hear her in hardly any of these because she'd prefer somebody else to talk for. And here we go. Are y'all ready?
Sebastian, in general?
Yeah.
Well, that depends. The punishment has to fit the crime, so to speak.
I want y'all to keep that in mind from here forever until we find that child and this man is clear. The punishment has to fit the crime, so to speak. Okay? So apparently, well, we'll get into it. CPS was called. Sebastian was struck with a belt by Chris Proudfoot, the stepdad. Now, he gets cleared. CPS doesn't take any action. which I find strange, but that's not here nor there. However, just remember on the very night and the only night that Sebastian Rogers goes missing at this home in Hendersonville with Katie and Chris Proudfoot, the mother and stepmother, their motion sensor lights outdoor do not work at all, and their garage light is on all night. It is very chilly out. It is like 30 degrees. Do you know that hypothermia can happen in a matter of hours in anything under between 40 and 50 degrees? Even low 50s, you can get hypothermia and die. So if the light was out and she's trying to force him to take the garbage out, it makes you wonder, did Sebastian posture and say, I'm not taking the garbage out, I'm scared, it's dark? And did somehow the punishment fit the crime? Let's continue.
I'll give you an example. Cleaning his room,
Mhm.
and people are going to make me sound like I'm so horrible. But I promise you, folks, you try this with your kids.
We don't have to make you sound so horrible, Chris Proudfoot. We don't have to do anything. You have admitted that you struck an autistic child with a belt. You have wasted time, valuable time, not looking for Sebastian, but defending yourself. That's on you. That's all on you. But the big question is, what else is on you?
Kids one time, and you won't ever have a problem with this again. So if you tell them to clean their room, and they go in there and they clean their room, well, they say come out, well, it's clean, and you go in there and you go to check their room, and the room's not clean. Okay, thought I told you to clean this room. You told us the room is clean, did you not? Well, yes, sir. Okay, now I'm going to clean your room. And you know exactly what that means. I go in and I go grab a trash bag. I walk back in that bedroom. If it's on the floor and it's not supposed to be on the floor, it's not picked up and put in the right places, goes in the trash bag. If it's not important enough for you to take care of and pick up, I'll take care of it for you. Throw in the trash bag. Tie it up. I've done this to him twice. One time, Mom talked me out of it. The other time, Sebastian, here's the bag, go put it in the trash can. And then you're going to take the trash can to the street. And after that, Sebastian, did you clean your room? Well, your mom told you to clean your room. Did you clean the room? Yes or no? Well, yes, sir. Is it clean the way it's supposed to be? Well, no, sir. Then I suggest you go back in there and clean it, or I'm coming in there in the next 10 minutes and I'm cleaning.
So if this works so good, this method that he's explaining to us, why did the mother, Katie Proudfoot, state that the house is clean except for Sebastian's room, and that that's always a mess? Always a mess. Seth, the real father, said the house was very clean, just like always, except for Sebastian's room, which was a mess. So Katie did say that all the professional law enforcement and investigators and so forth had went through Sebastian's room and it had become much messier. However, she did clarify, Sebastian's room is always a mess. So why is Mr. Proudfoot trying to give us literally advice when his kid is missing and he doesn't have custody of the other? Why is he giving us child rearing lessons and teaching us how we are to get our children's room clean? because my children are home. Where is yours, Mr. Proudfoot? I'm just asking. Scott Perkins says, oh my goodness, he is autistic. Mr. Tough Guy, that dude makes me nauseous. I'm sorry. I'll chill from here on out. No, you bent as much as you like. You're fine. Tickety Boo says, the stepdad makes it all about him. Speaks volumes to me. Michelle Balky says, someone needs to tune him up. Tanya Marr, welcome to 1111 True Crime. You say, listen to how hateful he gets. Sarah Baggett, hello, lovely. I'm glad you made it. Randy Potter wants to know, I wonder if he treats his daughter the same way. Beverly Ward, she said, cold bastard. I mean, this is so discouraging, right? Winds of change. What teen room is clean? Amen. On that, let's keep going.
Yes, sir. Hauls butt to that bedroom, and by golly, that room is clean the way it's supposed to be. Now, it sounds crazy, but I promise you, you try it with your kids, man, your kids will be like, oh my God, they ain't kidding.
So, remember, the garbage people said that the garbage was heavier than normal in their opinion. And then law enforcement went out and searched a landfill. Could it have been that what got thrown away was some of Sebastian's things? Was he instructed to clean his room? Put it all in a garbage bag, tie it in the little knot, put it in the garbage can, and then take the garbage to the curb? Was he already wound up? Because Mom used the words wound up going to bed. Who winds up before they go to bed? I wind down. So that implied to me that that was the moment, was something at this bedtime that like broke the straw on the camel's back. Now, I'm going to take you to a place. I want you to think about this really carefully because I have to word it carefully. The mom, Katie Proudfoot, allegedly was an MMA fighter. Like, knows how to kick some booty, brawl, like martial arts type, whatever, MMA. Has military background. So I find it very hard to associate those strengths with the woman that I'm seeing. And it's not just because, you know, it's a missing mom with a Kleenex, and it's her almost like, I can't put it into words. There's a disassociation. I feel like we're dealing with two different people in some way. But getting back to Mr. Proudfoot here, don't you kind of wonder the light's not coming on or it's off? The security light out there. The garbage is heavier. This dude, this stepdad, is talking about, you know, this concept of cleaning his room for him. Well, Mom was there. I don't think Chris had to be there with rules. Because Mom's claimed she's on the phone for hours with this stepdad. And he's on speaker a lot to Sebastian. So, was it clean your room night? After Sebastian had an extremely long day. I'm just asking, what do you guys think? Hazel Crop says, Chris thinks this place is a mess because Sebastian is in it. In my opinion. Noni McPoppins, hello, lovely, and welcome back. You say, I hope Mr. Chris remembers his words about the punishment that in the crime when Sebastian is found and when it's learned what happened to him that caused him to go missing. Teresa Sievers, This story about Sebastian's room is creepy because Seth, his father, said when he arrived at their home, the home was completely immaculate except for Sebastian's room, which was a total mess. Exactly. Thorn Blaze Lash, hello. You said yes. A disconnect to the urgency of the crime. Yes! You get a gold star. And welcome to 1111 True Crime. That's what I'm looking for. It's like there's no urgency in this. Trixonic says, I used to get the belt all the time when I was young. I was a bad kid. Damn. I'm sorry you went through that. Hey Jude says, she said she talked on the phone during mealtime and then changed her story and said, it's after Sebastian goes to bed. Right, I heard that too. Tickety Boo says, I wonder what his work colleagues think of him. Scott Perkins says, I got a fly swatter to my legs, rarely, but my family was beautiful. They never starved me either. Correct. Natural healing was his room, even unkept. Maybe those people are lying. Interesting. Alpine Arts, I feel bad for him, shake for Seth. Yeah, I do too, the real father. She says, Alpine Arts says, he seems like such a great guy. I get the impression he doesn't like Mr. Chris very much. Who can blame him? And we have to say impression because actually Seth doesn't give us an impression of anybody other than that he wants his son and that he's looked here, he's looking there, he's going here, he takes cat naps. He's true boots on the ground looking for his son. And hats off to you, Seth. We're working hard, getting the face out of your child, and really trying to get somewhere on how can we help. Well, I'll tell you, if you see Sebastian, let's do this. If you see this young man, 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Call 911 immediately. This child needs us. If you are looking for flyers, you can go to Facebook. There are groups out there. There is exclamation point, finding Sebastian Rogers, exclamation point. So, he is approximately, I believe, around 5.5 feet. He looks about 100 pounds soaking wet. He is a higher functioning of autism and needs our help. All right? Let's get back into this. We'll get over to the analysis and continue. And remember, if you're enjoying this program, hit that thumbs up. Take that second. You can get right back into chat with us. But it really does. It feeds the algorithm, which you're helping them because that gets a video out there more. And the more people are like, whoa, who is this 15-year-old that's missing? And maybe they're the one that see him. You just never know. And it's supportive. It's a good thing. It's a win-win.
It works amazing.
Do you feel like that he was ever a burden at all on you or your relationship, either one of you?
Was my stepson a burden in my marriage?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No. The burden, so what?
Okay. Before we go any more, and I can't remember what he's going to say, but he just started the sentence to answer, was he a burden on your marriage? Okay, that's the question. I want you to retain it. I'm just curious to find out if we actually get an answer to that question. And it's weird because he starts the answer off, the sentence off with the burden, and now he pauses, he recalculates, and he's coming back to answer for a second time. So let's continue and see where he heads with this. Is Sebastian a burden to Chris and Katie's marriage? Stepdad answering.
It has always been a struggle. And anybody who's married and has, you're a step parent, okay, that struggle of
That's a
being able
struggle
to,
itself.
yes, very much. And then you've got discipline on top of it, and what you can do, what you can't do, with because you've got the other parent and this parent. That's always a struggle. When you can get on the same page with each other,
Hmm.
and finally everybody understands it,
Right.
man, it is a beautiful picture. Beautiful. Now, am I saying everything's sunshine and rainbows? No, it's not.
Right.
But it ain't high tides and tsunamis either.
So if you and his mom ever argued, and that's in every marriage, like, would Sebastian ever jump between y'all?
Like physically?
Yeah.
No.
We don't fight and yell and scream or any of that like violent type stuff. We tend to take it behind closed door in our bedroom and have a conversation because the children should never be exposed to that. That's between us, not them.
Do you buy it? Do you guys buy what you just heard? Hey, Savannah, you said he should be defensive over this question, but like the question about him beating his ex-wife, he answers weak. Lucy Lou, he sounds like a control freak. That's what she said. Winds Up Change says step parents shouldn't be disciplining at all, in my opinion. Karen Texas says he's been married 5 times. What went wrong with the other 4? Right, Nikki Hansen, welcome to 1111 True Crime. You say the boy is autistic. You need to get on his page. Correct. I know, right? Athena Band says they don't bite, yell, or scream. Get out of here. You don't buy it? Oh, there's a lot of nope, definitely not. Nope. Thomas Bells actually feels like they're lying. Gemini 65, who would marry this piece of spaghetti? I had to YouTube censor. Tyrannomar. No, Mr. Chris, you didn't have permission hitting Sebastian with a leather belt because Seth is a father and would never allow that to happen. Right? Claire Lewis Davis says, same as your child shouldn't be bullied by your husband and hit with a belt. Correct. All right, you guys. We got that one done. This one is the weirdest statement, and Chris doubled downs on it. He literally, we're looking for his son, his stepson, Sebastian Rogers. He's 15-year-old. It now, at the point of this interview, has been 3 weeks. I always find it interesting, like if it's okay, when a parent that has a missing child can think of something dying, right? Like if they can say, "I love that child to death," it always bothers me. Like it just does. And I'm taking this a little bit out of context in the sense that he is not talking about Sebastian when he says this. So I'm going to give it a play, but just hearing him say it twice, it's so peculiar the way he says that the past must die. The past must die. And I'm like, God, we're looking for your son. It's 3 weeks past his disappearance. It just feels weird. I'll let you watch it.
I'm not accusing you of so, but again, uh, Seth has said that Katie, and again, I'm sorry, Katie, that again there was a time, and this is a long. People can change, but
Right.
again, it's been said that Katie has struck Seth, and that again, that's a long time. I wasn't there, so
No.
And I wasn't there either, for the record. Just so
so maybe Katie should answer this. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe Katie should just answer.
no.
I can't handle that laughter of his. God, it makes me woozy. It sounds like some evil Santa. It's like, ugh. I can't handle this man. Anyway, what I was going to tell you, Katie does not deny it. You listen to what she says.
Yes.
Oh Lord, no, that is a whole nother thing that happened back then.
That is a whole nother thing that happened back then. So it is a thing that happened. You just said so. So, did Katie strike Seth in the past? Katie said that's a whole nother thing. Yeah.
That is a whole nother thing that happened back then.
A whole nother thing that happened back then. She is confirming. So, I'll let you be a judge. But when somebody says, that's a whole nother thing that happened back then, you're not in denial that it happened. You're saying it did happen. It happened back then.
Yeah. Well, that's what brought me to my question. So I was just wondering if, Sebastian stepped in. And then I had heard at another place where Seth had said Sebastian would step in. And I didn't even know if he was talking about that or not because I heard about that separate, that Sebastian would step in and say, don't do this to my dad or whatever. And he could be talking about something totally different. But, again, I have to think all kinds of things in my head. So did Sebastian have tantrums at all? And
When
this
he
is
Oh
was,
yeah, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
he's a kid. I mean, it's even when I came in the picture. I mean, his tantrums were pretty bad.
mm,
Um, I mean, to the point. I mean, he. So I'm not. I'm not dragging Seth, his mom, his sister, my wife. I'm not dragging people through the mud. So what is in the past is the past. And that.
So, are you trying to tell me, Chris Proudfoot, that you were the knight in shining armor that came in and got this kid all figured out, that nobody could do anything with him but you, and that if it weren't for you, that we would be in chaos. But you came in, and so you're not going to drag Seth, the mom, or any of these people through the mud about how out of control Sebastian was when you got in the picture. Is that what you're saying? Or am I misunderstanding you? I'm just trying to see if you're trying to, you know, get that across to us that you have been, Sebastian's savior. What is this?
So what is in the past is the past, and that really needs to die. And I'm saying that for everybody to hear, to include all parties involved with this situation. The past is a past that needs to die. Let it be. Um, but
they
at
keep
the
saying
same
who's
time,
Rachel. So they keep saying who's Rachel. So you want to answer that before you tell them to let the
yes,
past
yes.
die?
Okay. So I got no problem.
Before we get into who's Rachel, which is, I think, the third out of five wives, which I don't even care about that, but I'll let you listen to it. Um, I mean, seriously, the past is in the past and it's got to die. Like, what a choice of words, right? Athena Band says, Claire Lewis, not on rugs. Scott Perkins, I'm holding up on mommy for 3 seconds, but time's flying here. They both look suspect, in my opinion, but I could be wrong. Mary says, I heard they are both ex-military. Correct. They are ex-military. Both. Sam R. says she'd done something to him that night. Gone off the last answer. Lucin and Maria, welcome to 1111 True Crime. You say, and why don't they have their doors on their home with alarms? So if the door opens, you know which door and would be able to monitor it if he left. Well, apparently he's never eloped before. So that could be why you know, but yeah, I guess hindsight's always 2020. Lucy Lou Who, they aren't out searching because they already know where he is, in my opinion. I mean, it's just strange how a lot of the search parties are looking between Hendersonville and Memphis, Tennessee. That's their focus, right? I don't think we're the only ones feeling suspicion towards Mr. Chris. I think there's reasons why everybody's searching in those directions. Karen Texas says she, as in the mother, is proficient at martial arts. Dreamweaver, hello, love, you say. But why is that so funny? What is wrong with these evil sons of guns? Right? Skinny, hey, welcome. You say tantrum is not the same thing as an autistic meltdown. Correct. A tantrum is a spoiled behavior that a child throws when they don't get their way. An autistic outburst is when the child, a lot of the times, for my son, it was if somebody treated him unfair or he felt like somebody crossed a line of his space, he would defend himself. It wasn't because he was throwing a tantrum. It was because it was space invasion kind of thing. But every child is different, and any child with a disability is definitely a unique individual. So it's hard to say if other kids behave that way too, you know? Army True Crime, welcome, welcome. Or Amy True Crime, sorry, lovely. You say past isn't always the past. Some people just don't change. So true. Beverly Ward, have you seen Chris? He looks worse than he is mean. All right, let's get back into this. We've got about 15 more minutes. We're going to keep these at about an hour. And for those of you that are interested in tarot, the beautiful Starlight members will be joining me tomorrow. We are going to be doing our first intuitive tarot reading on Sebastian Rogers, 4 o'clock p.m., same time, same place on Sunday, tomorrow. That is Central Time, actually. And if that's not your thing, no worries. Now, it will be in members because members will have the floor. They will have the chat, which we will be chatting up members after the reading. And but it is broadcast publicly for all those to watch, so nobody gets left out. I feel like I got to sneeze. I'm going to play this.
Rachel is my third.
I didn't know about Rachel, so.
No. So here, I'll make this easy for you. So I've been married 5 times. I'm on my 5th wife, and she's going to say, you're final. So let me make that clear. She's probably going to yell at me later that I didn't say final.
Yep. 5 wives. And Katie says final. Interesting. All right, let's see how long this one is. Okay, this is the one we've been waiting for. Chris Proudfoot actually got called in. Well, actually, Sebastian went to school and told somebody at school, reported that he had been struck with a belt. CPS came to the home. I'm going to let you listen to the story according, well, let's just say it's Mr. Chris's version, because that's all we have. We don't have Sebastian to hear his version.
Okay, have you ever had CPS called on you before?
Yes.
Okay, and you don't have to go into it elaborate or anything like that. I just, that was the question that I had, and that happens, sometimes, especially when you have a child who is has special needs and stuff. That's
I've had
hard.
it. Well, I'll be honest with you. I've had CPS called on me in 2 states,
Hmm.
New Mexico and Tennessee.
And and that did that include with Sebastian?
Tennessee was Sebastian, yes, ma'am. And in
Okay.
fact, Sebastian here, I'll just, like I said, I got nothing to hide. So Sebastian went to school one day because we were at the house. He got in trouble. He didn't have a belt on. I was like, "Where's your belt?" And got it. Whack. Kind of got him. So he goes to school and he tells the teacher. They're mandatory reporters. So the teacher reports it.
Hmm.
That afternoon, CPS shows up to the house while we're actually sitting down to eat dinner. Now, mind you, 15-year-old child, he's not real happy because he's in trouble, so he's being punished. So he shows, he makes a report. They come to the house, and the lady who comes to the house is the same lady we've had. She's had a case before. Now, the case that was before was something that didn't even happen, and it's like 3 stories that was shoved into one. And when they finally got it debunked, they were like, "Oh, he got so mixed up in telling one story, it mixed into three, and it caused a commotion." Well, they canceled that out. So the one on me, she shows up, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" It's her again.
Ugh! I gotta hear the goat, you guys. This is our mascot. His name is Billy the goat. Hey! She shows up. I'm like, hey, how you doing? What? He even, like, mocks his own voice. I can't. Y'all, right now, if I was a mother and this man was sitting next to me as a stepfather and my son was missing and my head was going over what could be possibly happening to my son at that moment, I think when he was sitting there, the moment he said CPS showed up and I was like, hey, how you doing? I think I would have punched him in the side of the damn head with everything I had and told him to shut the F up all the way to F Bill and back, and don't stop shutting the F up until my son is found, and that if he ever, as long as he lived, opened his mouth on live TV to talk in a mockery way of my son being hit, that I would bury him in the backyard with a full view of CNN watching and happily go to prison. Now, I might sound absolutely crazy, but geez, I cannot handle this stuff. What is wrong with these people? Help me, people. Help me. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Tyrona Mars says this is truly unbelievable. Sip Anna says, what the big bird was that? I'm sorry, lovely. It came on strong. That is our mascot. We use the goat to yell for us when we can't handle something to release the frustration. I'll try to give more warnings. Pass the butter, Jenny said. Tiffany Crockett. Me too, Mama D. Cat H says he has no sense of normality. Tina Cassie says he acts like he is proud of that. Well, he is Mr. Proudfoot.
She's like, "Oh, hey." She goes, "Hey, I already don't." She's like, "Don't tell me anything, but I'm gonna tell you what I know happened." And I said, "Okay." She goes, "Boom, boom, boom." She told me exactly what happened. I said, "Yes, ma'am." She goes, "Oh my God." I said, "Yes, ma'am. This is how it's been." Sebastian thought by
Wait. Did you hear what he said? I'm going to rewind it. He said, this is how it's been. He told that to the CPS teacher. He is discrediting Sebastian to the CPS person. I said teacher. I was thinking of school and CPS. Making it sound like the boy that cries wolf. Think about poor Sebastian being hit with a belt, taking the guts to stand up to Mr. Chris, by going to school and showing them what he did, getting help, and you think that there's an adult coming in to stop the insanity. You think you've done the right thing, and you're belittled and not believed by all the adults. And now we have a 15-year-old that's autistic that tried to get help, was denied the help that he was seeking. If he wanted it to continue, he wouldn't have went and got help. Sebastian has been let down, Samar. Correct, Samar. He admitted it and she didn't take him. All right, I'm going to let this play out for us all. Pray for Sebastian. Pray we bring him home. We have a lot more to look at, and it just gets crazier and crazier as we go. Now, I didn't get to the clip that I said we were going to get to, but I do have it, and it is in a line of many clips. We're going to play them in order. But along somewhere in here, in the next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, however long it takes us to get through these clips each day, one of them catches him saying something he will never be able to deny again. And it just may be used against him in court. So stay tuned because we're not giving up, but we're going to finish this one out. Sip Annan says, where are the grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, neighbors? Why do they have no support? Great question.
Telling on me, making it sound like I was so horrible.
Oh, you cut out. You cut out just a minute. You cut out. I can. Oh, there you go. Okay.
That I was going to get in trouble over something stupid. And I was like, no, Sebastian, you got punished, man. You got punished.
All right, you guys, I need to jump off here. I got somebody downstairs that needs my help, and it's with my little girl, a dog, Gretchen. And so I do have to go. She definitely does. Yeah, she's barking, and he's like, Mom, I need help with the dog. So I'm gonna get off here. I want to thank you all for coming on. We're gonna keep these about an hour each day. Feel free to join me going forward. I love you all. To the moon and back. Pray for Sebastian with all your heart that he's found safe and returned home. Love you guys. To the moon and back.